Hey guys, it's another video of mine. This is not one of my typical videos. It is a little bit intense of a topic, and it's probably quite a sensitive topic, so I'm going to go ahead and give anybody a warning before I get into this video. So, yeah, if you're sensitive to things like SA, political arguments, women's rights, etc., you would probably want to skip this video. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna try and be as calm as I can throughout this video because I'm pissed. Anyways, but I'm gonna try and stay calm. I have a very strong opinion on this, and I know a lot of this happened a couple months ago, a lot of these arguments, but I recently scrolled into a few YouTube shorts just trying to enjoy my day, and I saw something that, like, I know you can just scroll and ignore it, but this isn't one of the things I can just scroll and ignore. It's quite awful, and I feel like I need to address it. Not that my opinion is going to really reach many people. I'm a 13-year-old kid with a 7th grade education, but I'm hoping to at least help spread the message, even if it's just to 1 or 2 people. That works. At least I'm trying to help. So this video was talking about how it is awful for women to get an abortion because they are killing another human, and that it was their fault and they decided to have sex, and it's their fault if they get pregnant. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Alright, so first of all, I'll use me for an example. Obviously, I'm not thinking of getting pregnant anytime soon. I'm 13, but let's use me for an example. If I were pregnant, even if I was older in the future, if I were pregnant, first of all, I'm not going to have biological kids. I'm going to adopt, most likely, unless there's a cure for whatever I have in the future, for the stuff I have in the future. But I have some severe health issues, and having a child throughout the pregnancy, not only could it hurt me very, very bad, I could also get very hurt or even die during the pregnancy, because I'm also very, very small and my body is very weak in this whole area from my disorders. So if I had a child, first of all, it could hurt or even kill me. Same for the baby, it could hurt or even kill that, and even if it survived, the baby as growing up would likely have a lot of health issues and problems, and their life just wouldn't be good. So I'm not gonna even think about having a kid in the first place, because even if things were smooth sailing in birth and like pregnancy, they're very, very likely to get the same disorder as me, and I don't want someone else to live through that. So there's me for an example of why. And there's other reasons. So it was basically like saying women should not have abortions, and that was an example of why women should be able to have abortions. Second of all, how would you feel, whether you're a boy or a girl, how would you feel if I walked up to you and said, hey, you have to quit your job, throw away your hopes and dreams, and sit at home all day, and you don't get a choice? How would you feel? I'll give you a second. How would you feel? That's not fair, right? That's violating your rights. Same applies to being forced to give birth to a child you never wanted, and same applies to not being allowed to get an abortion. And yes, technically you could have the baby adopted by someone else and they wouldn't be yours anymore, but it already has severe effects on your body, and if you were like in college or something, or if you're living with your parents and you get pregnant, you could get kicked out or expelled from schools. Anything like that could possibly, even just being pregnant, ruin your careers and your physical body. It could severely hurt you, or it could leave your body in a shape that you don't like, leaving you very self-conscious. And, like, it's the woman's choice. I saw someone in the comments saying, yeah, if the father should have a say on what the woman does with her body too. The husband should have a 50% say on what the woman does with her body too. Hell no. Is he part of her body? Is he gonna feel the same pain as her if she has to go through with that? Is he gonna go through the delivery and push a child out of his uterus? He's not. He's not. No. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna have to do that. And also, what if a woman just came up to a man, like the example earlier, and said to her husband, hey, you can't do anything anymore. Throw away your hopes, dreams, and go push this giant watermelon out of your butthole. That sounded funny and weird, but that would be, like, awful. There would be lots of concerns about that. So why are people doing the same to women? Why are they acting like a fetus? Even in its first few weeks, it's not even a person yet. It's just a clump of cells. People are putting a clump of cells over the lives of real living women who have a life, have hopes, have dreams, have a plan for their future, and just throwing away their life for a clump of cells. Now, I agree that there is a reason that abortions can't go past a certain period in the pregnancy. Like, they can only be in, like, the first bit of the pregnancy before, like, you can't abort it anymore. And I agree with that. You should never abort when the child is, like, fully developed. But in the early pregnancy, you're allowed to abort. It's not a person. It's a fetus. It's not even a full-formed person yet. And you're still going to put it over the lives, happiness, joy, hopes, dreams, basically over anything that woman ever wanted. When you're listening to it that way, it doesn't sound very much like saving a life anymore. You're not saving a life. There's very likely chance you're not even helping grow the population. It wouldn't change. A woman could die in childbirth and the child could live, and the population hasn't changed. They could both die, and even if they both live, that woman's life, it could in the future get better, but a lot of the time that woman's life is ruined. What if it was a kid? What if it was a teenager that had a kid? Whether they consented to the sex or not, it should be their choice. And if they're a teenager, they're typically pretty small, and that could be very dangerous to their health, and it could really damage their like school and learning and everything like that. It could damage relationships with family, everything. And again, they could have been sexually assaulted. They never made any mistakes and chose to have that baby. They were forced to do it by some sicko who had their way with them and then just left them to take care of the problems alone. Let that sink in. And that has happened to some very little girls in the world before. They never got the choice to abortion, and they were forced to give their life away to this new clump of cells. They didn't even get the choice before it became a fully developed person. Let that sink in. And I'm all for not killing a human, but if it's within, like, the illegal abortion time period, it's not a human yet. Now, I agree if it's really late in the pregnancy and it's already pretty much full developed, yeah, that's a human. But early in the pregnancy, it's not a human yet. They can get an abortion. That's not a human they're killing. They're getting rid of a clump of cells that could quite possibly ruin their life. Now, there have been times where a woman didn't want a baby and it ended up working out well, but still, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be the woman's choice and that you're just like, well, good luck. I hope it turns out well for you. It's not really your choice. You're just going to have to live with it. Think about that. And don't you say that people who are okay with abortions, like me, you're saying we're justifying murder, which we're not if it's within the legal abortion times. But even if we were, that means, on the other hand, you're also justifying possible rape, severe health risks to the woman and the baby, and possibly just throwing away someone's hopes and dreams for a clump of cells. Again, clump of cells. It's not even a person yet. If we're justifying murder, you're justifying sexual assault, possible health risks on the baby and the woman, even death, for both. Think about that. You know, when I see people against abortion, I think maybe they don't understand. Maybe they don't realize that it's not a human yet in the first few weeks. Maybe they don't understand how badly it could hurt the woman. And if they don't know, okay, I'll tell them the facts and see if they change their mind. And if they change their mind, awesome, because they didn't know. But if you know now and you still believe that it shouldn't be a woman's right to get an abortion, I said I wasn't gonna get overly angry in this video, but if you think that, you disgust me. If you think that, I'm a 13-year-old girl who already has more compassion, common sense, and empathy than you ever will. You think, oh, I have compassion for the baby. That's compassion for an unborn thing. It doesn't even exist yet. It's in the stomach, and yes, it should be illegal to do abortion past, again, the time period allowed for abortion when the baby is already mostly developed, but in the first part of the pregnancy, abortion should be allowed because it's not human yet. And they say, well, you're throwing away the potential for a whole life if you abort it. Well, if you don't abort it, you're also throwing away the potential for a whole life because that woman still has a whole life. Think about it. I'm just gonna sit here for a bit. Think about it. Alright, we've let that sink in. Go ahead, and if you're on my side, please share this video around, spread awareness, please. I'd really appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of women out there would appreciate that as well. And if you don't agree with me, you can start an argument in the comments. I'm either going to ignore it or get super upset and just delete it. I'm going to ignore it or delete it or block you. Or, you know what you could do? You could just mind your own business. You can deal with your own life. You don't need to control other people's. You don't need to control a woman's right to get an abortion. You don't need to control a woman's right to do with their bodies. And I'm not just saying this as only women should have rights. This is a human rights problem. I think if a man deserves a right, they should also have it as well. But the same goes for women. If the woman deserves the rights to decide what happens with her own physical body, as well as a man does. Both of them do. I'm not saying one deserves more than the other. I think it should be equal. So, men have the rights, so can women. And women have the rights over their own body. Is that clear? And if you still think against that, you're what's wrong with this world. You're the problem. You're one of the reasons that economy is collapsing and so many things are going wrong. You're the reason women's lives are being ruined. You're the reason that women are getting severe health issues and dying. And you probably are against other rights as well, not even just abortions and pregnancy and crap. You're a problem. Fix it. The only way you can fix the problem is if you fix your mind. You're mental. Either that, or you're just an evil person. You don't even deserve to be called a human. You're below the level of even creature. This is my opinion. I'm not starting fights in the comments. Don't even. Most of you that are involved in this issue, there's some children, but there's also mostly adults. If you're against this, don't start a fight in the comments. You're an adult. You're gonna start a fight with a 13-year-old girl who is just stating her own beliefs and stating her opinion on what people should do. You're an adult. Act like one. Some of you seem to struggle. Trust me, I'm not just some immature 13-year-old. I've been through hell and back. I am very mature for my age, and I'm not just saying that so that people will listen to me, because that would sound ridiculous. But I'm not stupid. I just had a lot to say in this video, and I'm quite upset with a lot of the people in this world today. Honestly, quite disgusting. It's despicable. It's evil. It's awful. But for the others who are on my side, thank you. Of course, I'm not telling anybody what they should do or whatever, because you still have human rights. If you're on the other side against abortion, oh, you can't tell me what to do. It's my right to have my opinion. If you want that right, then why can't women have theirs? Anyways, thank you for anybody who's supporting this, and go away anybody who's not. I'm not trying to be mean or start a fight. Just get off the video. Thank you. That's about all I have to say. Abortion should be allowed within the legal range of during early pregnancy. And yes, I do believe that people should consider, when having sex, even if they have protection or taking birth control, they should consider the fact that it may not work and they may be pregnant, and that maybe they shouldn't do it. But if it happens, it happens. And if the person is in a good financial situation, they think they can do it, they can do it. They can do whatever they want. They can have that kid. They can raise it. They can be happy. It'll be a wonderful life. But if they don't want to, they do not have to. If they don't want to do something that could significantly affect their body, they do not have to. And if you still disagree with that, wow. I have no other words, just wow. Anyways, thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day.